My name is Sufi Kaur. I'm 18 years old right now, and I grew up in Palo Alto, California. Right now, I'm a student of computer science and cognitive psychology at Northeastern University, which is in Boston. And my main focus is on human interaction with technology, but I'm also very interested in how humans interact with each other and with our environment and the nature around us. I really love to run. I love going on trails and through different places. I love exploring, so you can often find me doing hikes or somewhere in the wilderness. That's where I feel the most me. I also really love to play music. This quarantine, I've been trying to pick up the guitar and my ukulele a lot more.
Welcome to Kaur Foundation Youth Voices. My name is Jasmeet. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Could you tell me a little bit about how your religion, Sikhism, our shared religion, how that has kind of shaped some of your studies?
So my parents definitely had a big part in raising me to be the way that I am. And they raised me with these core values that they brought from Sikhi as well, of this hard work, this determination, this acceptance, this fight for tolerance. And it just kind of shaped my point of view and the way I view the world. I think that every young person or any person who's coming into themselves has questions about faith and wonders what is the right path for them. But I think I'm definitely on that journey of discovery. I think that Vaheguru to me is just the presence and this understanding that we are not in this universe alone.
How do you feel like these values empower you inside the classroom, outside the classroom?
In general, it gives me a sense of confidence, a sense of identity. I know how to evaluate what I see because I know I value honesty and giving and tolerance. So whenever I face a problem, I feel like I have these things to stand upon.
Is there anything that comes to mind in terms of particular moment, or at least, an era of your life that was more formative in terms of how religion played a part in that, how Sikhi played a part?
In school, for example, I noticed that I love computer science, and I noticed that before. I'm studying it now, but even here in the Bay Area, there was no girls in my class, and I think that sense of belonging, inclusivity, female empowerment, that's so fundamental to Sikhism. I kind of felt like I needed to bring that to a place where it should have really been, but it wasn't. And so my friend and I, we started this Girls in STEM club to try to broaden our view of what success can mean, what our futures could mean, because it's hidden in there. And sometimes you need that kind of strength, that kind of confidence to be no, this isn't right. And let's see what I can do to make it right. What we really focused on was bringing in a lot of speakers of different ethnicities and different fields of STEM so that the girls in our club could really just view what success meant in a broader fashion, because a lot of times you're feed this one image of success, and the prototype we have in our brain is basically a white male, and that's not what success has to mean.
Are there any other projects that kind of stick out in memory?
It was my sophomore year of high school, and we were watching this documentary in my history class called The White Helmets. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It was about this group of people in Syria who were just rebuilding after every bomb that fell. They were the first responders. They would go there, they would fix things. And it was a whole documentary on basically the whole refugee crisis. And I think it shook everyone in my class, but I know it really did shake me. And so me and two of my friends, we came together and we decided to try to build this app. And even though we knew we were only 15 back then, we didn't know where the future was going to go with it. We were we need to try to do something. And so we made this Humans of New York-esque app that would really delve into the lives of these refugees and try to connect them with donation centers and resources around where they had moved. So I think that kind of compassion was rooted in Sikhi. Again, wherever you see injustice, whether it be a movie in your history class or live somewhere, it should motivate action. And I think that's another point that now looking back on, I can see there was definitely an influence of Sikhi, even though back then I probably wasn't thinking about it as one.
What are things that you would want mainstream America to really know about you as a Sikh or the Sikh community?
I would like mainstream America to know that Sikhism is a faith that is very non-judgmental. They will never be the people to put you down for what you believe in, but instead the kind of people that will fight for you to believe in what you do. I'm open to like basically any conversation as long as you're not trying to be hurtful. And also, like, I'm proud of the person that I am, and I don't feel bad about being a minority.
Is there any example so far that you've noticed that you've been able to bridge kind of what we've talked about in terms of how we want mainstream America to see us, what we think people should know about Sikhs, and any projects that you've been working on, or any specific experiences that you've had?
So there are a couple of ways that I have tried to blend these two worlds. The first one is that I'm on a Bhangra team in college, and a lot of the music that we listen to and the steps that we do are very tied not just with like Sikhism per se, but the whole culture of Punjab where Sikhism was born. Another way is that recently in the United States, there has been this whole Black Lives Matter movement where certain populations, certain minorities have been targeted and hurt because of who they are. And there was this whole organization that was translating what was happening in America into hundreds of languages. And knowing what I know, learning what I've learned from the history of Sikhism, I was able to help guide the letter in a way that would connect to the people in India, in Punjab, to understand what was happening here a little bit better. And so I think that learning the language, learning the Sakhis, learning the history have really helped me translate different experiences and connect them between like very far away countries. And to have that knowledge, to learn about the places, the Sakhis, and have that understanding has helped me bring these tidbits of knowledge to people who are learning it for the very first time. Because it's not just important that they know about what my exact beliefs are, but also about the history and the way that our roots have shaped the people that we are.
A lot of teenagers struggle with confidence and feeling okay in their own skin. Could you speak a little bit more about how Sikhi helped you do that?
This is kind of a strange point. But when we learn about our Sakhis or our like folk tales, I suppose, there's a lot of stories about these like heroic deeds done by ordinary people, and the entire emphasis is not on the way they present themselves or the way that they like look or think or talk, but on the things that they do. And so I think the confidence is drawn from like, yes, I am not going to be living then and having these great adventures or great stories, but I think that I will be remembered for the things that I do, and that's what matters, and that's what I'm going to focus all my energy on doing, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that remains. Everything else is not permanent, but the things that you do hopefully will last. And so I think the Sakhis like this really proved to me that actions can last like centuries and can inspire people, and that's the kind of thing that I want to do.